Still I pay my dues, affiliated to this paper. I need freedom from my family line. Draw my life design up like fine art. I'm jumping out just to unfamiliar coordinates. Topped off the porch like I could touch the sky. Red is not one trip. The ism talk the water out your faucet. Look at me flossing, I'm so wavy I could change the tide. My intuition sense the hatred in your ways. You imitated forging lines, claim meaning means that's just to justify. Yeah, right. West side boy, maritime. Creole baby, my bloodline. My lungs clouded, my thoughts crowded. Say all I see is these dollar signs. Finna make a play and that sound delay. On mamas, I testify. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. You ain't recognized game. I'm from the Bay, okay, I'm versatile and my slang is different. I'm lane switching with the same people that I came up in this thing with. My head swivel, I'm homebound, got a target back on my backside. The cat peeling with the cast iron, better run for it, run before I catch you. Niggas out ball it, block it, trying to stop my blessing. Gamble with your life, don't bet it, don't bet it. They can't stop my blessing, you do best not to test it. Yeah, you right, real all in my blood supply. Get ball up top, finna make a play. I cast a lob like I'm Jalen, baby. No co-signer, no co-pilot. They pen pals, my flow designer. My brain signal out of range with it. My palm mission is a dollar sign. If I say it twice and I meant it right.
My brain signal out of range with it. My palm mission is a dollar sign. You know co-signer, no co-pilot. They pen pals, my flow designer. My brain signal out of range with it. My palm mission is a dollar sign.
Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking, all right? So shout out to everybody who is in the building early. It's good to see each and every one of you. If you can hear me okay and everything looks good on the screen, please give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. If you cannot hear me or things are looking and sounding bad, please give me a thumbs down. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to shout out everybody who's in the building early, all right? Shout out to my man Carlton Way. Shout out to Vovo2 Love. Shout out to Katsy. And shout out to everybody who has not said anything yet. Good to see each and every one of you, all right? So we're going to talk about some things today. One of the things that we're going to talk about is this Bitcoin price crash. You know, you guys know I'm under the belief that I do believe that Bitcoin is going to retrace to the lower levels. We saw it go as low as, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say like $93,000 last night, which I'm not surprised about. It's been bouncing between like 93 and 95 today. I could see it possibly going lower. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, as you guys know, all those lower steps are steps towards what? Let me know. Steps towards what? All right. Also, shout out to you guys for being on the forefront of two paradigm shifts. The first paradigm shift is a new financial frontier that we're about to explore. And we are about to explore it with a nice bag, right? So shout out to you guys, man. Make sure you guys throw some flames and some ducks, some radiation emoji in the chat for yourselves, all right? For being brave, all right? And that's the other paradigm shift, all right? That's the other paradigm shift. The other paradigm shift is shout out to you all for being early adapters to the new technology of doing something about your circumstance other than just pointing and saying they did this to us and crying about it. Shout out to y'all for doing that, right? Because I've never known tattletales to ever beat bullies. I've only known people who fight back who have been able to beat bullies. So shout out to y'all for being a fight back brigade, something that we haven't ever seen before, all right? So shout out to you guys, man. Pat yourselves on the back. All right. Pat yourselves on the back because you're doing it different and doing it better than everybody else is doing it. Shout out to Caldona. What's good with it, Caldona? All right. Also, more countries have started to discuss the Bitcoin strategic reserve and the idea of a Bitcoin strategic reserve in order to strengthen their currencies as well as to strengthen the economy of their nations through inflation proofing. All right. Now, we're going to get there eventually, but I want to know in the comment section how many people know who this newest country is to this discussion. All right. Bitcoin has been fully politicized. This is a hot issue. Everybody's talking about it. The Biden DOJ has done some interesting things that people believe affect the price of Bitcoin. And the topic of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency was completely left out of the discourse of the 2024 presidential election. Never forget that. Never forget that. Digital Sovereignty Alliance launches champion ethical crypto policies in the U.S. Senate and House of Representatives. Sounds pretty important to me. Bringing together experts, policymakers, and industry pioneers, DSA champions thoughtful policies to benefit society. And I'm sure probably to benefit a lot of these politicians' pockets too. Today marks the official launch of the Digital Sovereignty Alliance, a nonprofit organization dedicated to advocating clear and ethical public policy, research, education surrounding emerging technologies, including decentralized technologies, blockchain, cryptocurrency, Web3 innovations, and artificial intelligence. Listen, if you are in the right businesses at this time in the world, you will be in a good place. You will be in a good place. All right. Now, shout out to the Modern Investor. Watch this video this morning, like I always do. How many people watched the Modern Investor's video this morning? If you guys watched it, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't, give me a thumbs down. Did you guys hear how Modern Investor had the frustration in his voice? He's like, I don't understand why people aren't paying attention to this. I don't understand how the entire world can complain about money in the economic situation. And here's an opportunity to fix it. And they're literally handing all the wealth to the rich people. Did you hear him with the frustration with that? Isn't that interesting? DSA is focused on elevating the quality of public policy and public understanding of blockchain technology. Through in-depth research and dynamic educational events, DSA will work to foster an informed approach to technology governance, placing a strong emphasis on ethics, transparency, and digital sovereignty. Okay. DSA's work will center around research, publishing studies to deepen the understanding of decentralized and digital technologies, educational events, hosting conferences, workshops, and forums to engage stakeholders and foster dialogue on responsible technology adoption, policy advocacy, promoting and supporting legislation and regulation that encourage innovation while prioritizing ethical considerations and public welfare. So what I want you guys to understand is that they're laying the pathway. The Modern Investor, he's on YouTube. They're laying the pathway to start building a future over blockchain, utilizing cryptocurrency as the vehicle of commerce. This is an undeniable fact. Okay? As part of its mission, DSA will also partner with key stakeholders to support a framework that encourages innovation, transparency, regulatory compliance. DSA is proudly supported by a coalition of pioneers from the crypto and blockchain industry, led by Tron DAO, a community-governed DAO dedicated to accelerating the decentralization of the internet via blockchain technology and dApps, which brings significant expertise and research to further DSA's mission. So look at Tron. Look at Tron moving on up in the world. That's what's good. I bet you there's some people that are buying their Lamborghinis with that Tron money. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? My computer is telling me it's time for a commercial break because it's frozen. So if you guys have not smashed that like button yet, if you can still hear me, please do me a favor, take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you have not hit the bell and subscribe to the channel, please take a moment, hit the bell, subscribe to the channel, and also please share the stream to your social media. All right. I think I'm gonna have to stop highlighting stuff because I think it might be this highlighter that's causing this. The Digital Sovereignty Alliance is a nonprofit social welfare organization committed to advocating for public policies that support ethical innovation in decentralized technologies, blockchain, cryptocurrency, Web3, and artificial intelligence. DSA conducts research, organizes educational events, and promotes policies. See that? Promotes policies that prioritize public welfare and digital sovereignty. All right. So, yeah, man. Right in the Senate and House of Representatives. Sounds pretty political to me. Sounds pretty political to me. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. What's good with it, Brooklyn Queen? Make sure y'all show Brooklyn Queen some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Brooklyn Queen for being a mod extraordinaire. Please make sure, very crucial, follow her instructions. All right, follow her instructions. Where's the bricks people at? Throw some bricks in the chat, y'all. Throw up some bricks like y'all playing basketball, because you know can't none of y'all shoot. And none of y'all got a jump shot. Throw some bricks in the chat like y'all at the playground. You know what I'm saying? Do it like y'all do it on the basketball court. Knowing that's all y'all do is hit a bunch of rim and backboard, right? The bricks people. We got an article here about China. Come on out from hiding. You know what I'm saying? We talk about one of the BRICS nations. All right, this is the C in BRICS. China places blockchain at the core of national data strategy in new guidelines. All right, so China is adopting blockchain to utilize for their data strategy. Okay, the new guidelines highlight blockchain technology as a cornerstone for facilitating trusted data exchange across industries and regions. Okay, China's newly revealed National Data Infrastructure Construction Guidelines place blockchain at the heart of the country's strategy to enhance data security, transparency, and scalability as part of its broader digital transformation push. Now, let me ask you guys this question. When China is talking about a quote-unquote digital transformation push, whatever do they mean? What do they mean when they say the digital transformation push? And let's ask this question. Are they the only country that's going through a digital transformation push right now? The guidelines released by the National Development and Reform Commission and other agencies highlight blockchain technology as a cornerstone for facilitating trusted data exchange across industries and regions. The document envisions blockchain networks supporting secure data circulation, ensuring traceability, and preventing tampering as China builds a national integrated data market. According to the proposed timeline, China expects to have a fully operational blockchain-powered data infrastructure that spans the nation by 2025. Now, let me ask you guys this question. What is the chance of China doing all of this and avoiding having any Bitcoin? Here's another question. How could China do it without having any Bitcoin? Or for that matter, having any Ethereum? Or for that matter, having any Ripple? For that matter, having any Solana? How could they do it? Is it possible? Let me know what you guys think. Okay, hold on. Here we go. See this. See. The guidelines released by the National Development and Reform Commission and other agencies highlight blockchain technology as a cornerstone for facilitating trusted data exchange across industries and regions. The document envisions networks supporting secure data circulation, ensuring traceability, and preventing tampering as China builds a national integrated data market. Okay? According to the proposed timeline, China expects to have a fully operational blockchain-powered data infrastructure that spans the nation by 2025 or 2029. Now, that timeline of 2029, right? If China is looking to have some type of digital initiative done by 2029, is it safe to say that the United States probably has a similar timeline for something that they haven't announced yet? If it is, give me a thumbs up. If it's not, then give me a thumbs down. Between 2024 and 2026, the government will launch pilot projects in key regions to define blockchain frameworks and test real-world applications. By 2028, these pilot programs will evolve into fully integrated national blockchain networks, supporting large-scale data flow between provinces, sectors, and public-private partnerships. Okay? Blockchain-powered infrastructure. So as you guys can see, this is almost like laying an entire new infrastructure over what's already existent. Now, Here's my question. I need you guys to give me some answers to this in the comment section. What does it take to be able to do a project, to do an overhaul like this? Let me know, okay? A central feature of the plan is the development of trusted data spaces that utilize blockchain to enable seamless multi-party data sharing while ensuring privacy, integrity, and ownership rights. These spaces, powered by distributed ledger technology, will serve as decentralized environments where businesses, governments, and individuals can exchange data securely and transparently. All right? Trusted spaces aim to address common data governance challenges by creating immutable records of data transactions. This allows stakeholders to verify data provenance and ensure compliance with regulatory requirements. These ecosystems will be pivotal in industries such as cross-border logistics, supply chain management, e-commerce, and financial services. So now this is where you get that concentration in DeFi, okay? Additionally, these guidelines will propose the construction of data markets built on blockchain networks. These markets will allow for the tokenization of data assets, enabling fractional ownership, monetization, and secure trading across platforms. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Can anybody think of tokens that are associated with plans like this? If you can think of tokens that are associated with plans like this, then drop them in the chat. Shout out to Black Bitcoin Key. What's good with it, bro? Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said it's basically the space race again, except with crypto this time. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. This innovation is expected to unlock new revenue streams and incentivize data sharing at scale. The plan also calls for the establishment of blockchain-powered platforms tailored to specific industries. The given timeframes, by 2026, pilot projects will test decentralized applications in critical sectors such as digital finance, green energy, and smart manufacturing. So when it comes to this, what do we keep seeing? We keep seeing digital finance. Digital finance, okay? DeFi is definitely going to be something that is a big thing in the future. Now would be a good time to place your bets. Now would be a great time to place your bets. These platforms will facilitate data interoperability between enterprises, accelerating sector-wide adoption of blockchain technology. For example, the guidelines encourage the development of blockchain-driven supply chain networks for agriculture and industrial manufacturing, ensuring product traceability and reducing fraud. In the financial sector, DeFi solutions leveraging state-approved blockchains will be explored, providing secure, low-cost alternative to traditional systems. Okay? Security and privacy. China's emphasis on blockchain extends beyond data sharing to secure the infrastructure itself. The guidelines detail plans to integrate blockchain with advanced privacy-enhancing technologies, including secure multi-party computation, homomorphic encryption, and zero-knowledge proofs. Okay? This combination will allow sensitive data to be processed and analyzed without being exposed, addressing key privacy concerns in sensitive sectors such as healthcare and finance. The document also outlines the creation of blockchain-based monitoring systems for real-time data integrity checks, protecting against unauthorized access, leaks, and cyber threats. By decentralizing control over critical data flows, the initiative aims to reduce single points of failure and enhance national data resilience. Now, let me ask you guys this question. What is the chance of China being able to pull something like this off without using Bitcoin, or without using Ethereum, or without using Solana? That's my question for you guys. Let me know what you guys think. If you ask me, I don't know how easy something like that would be without using existing blockchain technology that everything, for the most part, is compatible with, right? Shout out to Vincent. What's good with it, bro? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you all would disagree, give me a thumbs down. And shout out to everybody that's watching, man. I really appreciate you guys. If you all have not smashed that like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. And also, please share the stream to your social media, all right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick look at this tech check video, and we're going to see what they're talking about as far as use cases. One second. All right, so let me see. We got this up here. Yeah. Let's see. All right, there we go.
The spotlight this year, that's for sure. In recent months, though, investors have begun debating whether the pace of progress in AI has plateaued. This year, we only got a handful of new model developments from the biggest players. So if 2024 was the year advancements peaked, well, then what does that mean for next year? Deirdre Bose is digging into that. It's been a question I know you've been entertaining for some time these last few weeks, Deirdre.
A very big question. And put simply, the AI race is set to be reshaped in 2025. Let me explain how. We've already begun to see new strategies emerge. As model advancements stalled, the big players, they rushed. They really competed with each other to ship as many products and demos as they possibly could in December. You had OpenAI's 12 days of shipments, Apple Intelligence hit devices, Microsoft shipped agents, Google had at least 10 releases. But guys, that is just the beginning. In 2025, a new AI paradigm that values reasoning and use cases over technological leaps, that will shift the entire landscape, and it could upend the current winners and the darlings of the trade. Open source and small language models, they will continue to gain momentum. Businesses, they're starting to realize that they don't need the largest, most compute-heavy models to deliver real-world value. Smaller models, they have proven faster, cheaper. They can be fine-tuned for specific tasks. Open source models, meanwhile, they're becoming more attractive because they're affordable and accessible. Yesterday, we discussed China's DeepSeek model that competes with some of the most advanced Western models, built for a fraction of the cost and a fraction of the time. That is a huge shift on its own. Now, the shift also creates an opening for new players. In 2025, we expect to learn more about what Ilya Sutskever and Mira Murati are up to. Those are two key OpenAI executives who left this year to start their own ventures. Sutskever, he raised a $1 billion seed round. Murati reportedly looking to raise $100 million. Now, another implication of peak AI progress to think about in the year ahead, the race is no longer just about scale or speed. It's about intelligence that can think and reason. You're going to hear a lot more about reasoning next year. An OpenAI researcher put it this way. He said, it turns out that having a bot think for just 20 seconds in a hand of poker, that got the same boosting performance as scaling up the model for 100,000 times and training it for 100,000 times longer. Now,
so I want you guys to see, do you see what's going on with the AI? Do you all see how quickly the machines learn? Now, let me ask you guys this question. If the machines can learn how to play poker that quick, how quickly do you all think that they'd be able to replicate what's necessary to do a low skill, low wage job? Let me know what you guys think in the chat. And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed that like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys have not hit the bell, please take a moment, hit the bell, and also please share the stream to your social media.
That shift in priorities, that will require new kinds of hardware, one that shifts the focus from training chips to inference chips designed for this case, reasoning. And those are better suited for real-time decision-making and multi-step processes. That could disrupt the dominance of GPU-centric hardware and cause mega caps to rethink their AI capex and infrastructure. David and Leslie, a theme, in the Valley over the last few months, and that people have talked about for a while actually, is who's going to be the Alta Vista? Who's going to be the Yahoo of the AI era? And we're still early.
Now, that's a good question to ask, especially for investors, right? So my question for you guys is, who do you all think, what companies have you been looking at, do you all think will be the quote-unquote Yahoo, the quote-unquote Google, the quote-unquote Microsoft of AI? Let me know what you guys think. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. What's good with it, bro?
Here, right? It could even be an OpenAI, dare I say, or an Anthropic. A new player could come swooping in with these new changes and shifting landscape to become the dominant player. This is all something to keep an eye on next year.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I try to keep track of it, of course, in part through your reporting, Deirdre. Though NVIDIA would tell you, all right, we moved to the large language models, but you're still going to need our GPUs for inference. We're still the only game in town. Is that true?
I wouldn't call them the only game in town. They're maybe the best game in town, right? NVIDIA is not just, chips, not just a hardware maker. It's built a whole ecosystem, software around its product. So it is very well positioned, but I think there's a lot more competition. You have TPUs from Google, you have Amazon's own chips, you have new players that can do inferencing at a cheaper cost that's maybe more available as well than the NVIDIA chip. So I think it's an open question. I wouldn't call them the only game in town for inferencing. For training, yes.
Yeah, and then there's, of course, the potential that we may have peaked in AI innovation here in the U.S., but elsewhere is still on the upswing.
All right, so there's that. All right, I think that's interesting, and I didn't know that there was conversations about the United States peaking in AI development. That's interesting. That's not a good thing, right? Now, this video is from 8 days ago. All right. So, you could look at these prices if you want to, right? But I wouldn't take the prices, I wouldn't take them too serious because these are old prices. But what's important is the ideas that they talk about in this video. All right. And this is where I want to go with this. All right. So as soon as I get this up on the screen, I will pull this up. And we will get this going. Let's see. All right, there we go. And got another question for you guys. When do you all think will be the next time that Bitcoin hits $100,000? Let me know.
Essentially, across the flat line right now, as we say, the trading volumes are very, very thin. The Dow, the S&P, and NASDAQ just slightly lower, essentially flat. Alyssa Coram joins me now to talk about this. Alyssa, as we look ahead to 2025, could the volatility still be there?
Hey, Ashley, great to be with you. Yeah, I do think so. And that's for a couple of reasons. First, let's add a little context here to the current moment. If you go back to December 18th, we had a Fed-induced thrashing in the market, right? The NASDAQ down 3.6%, the S&P down 3%, the Russell down over 4%. And usually when you get a bad break like that, it takes the market a little while to heal. If you think about August, I mean, we saw a big crash almost, and it took a little while to heal. This isn't that bad, but you do get that volatility a little while after that. I also think if you think about the run up to what happened in mid-December, we had 6 weeks of fantastic gains. You had stocks like Tesla go from 280 to 480, AppLovin go from 160 to 420. So when you have those incredible moves, you do need a little bit of a digestion. And so the silver lining here is for investors, we could be getting new buying opportunities, but the volatility short term could mean that could take a little while to play out. I'm waiting for things to calm down after the first week of January, where we could see, because of the fantastic gains investors have had, then push off their selling into the new year for tax reasons.
So as you look into your crystal ball, Alyssa, what do you think the top performing stocks could be of 2025?
So I think artificial intelligence, that has to be front and center for investors, right? If we look at the top three.
No, she said artificial intelligence must be front and center for investors. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Blacklight Revelations is front and center for her investment. Definitely appreciate you, Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen says, for the Bitcoin balance sheet live stream. That's what's good. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Throw some targets in the chat. We getting there. Make sure y'all throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Brooklyn Queen for funding the organization. Definitely appreciate it. Now, I got a question for y'all after I play this drop. If my computer let me play the damn drop. See if I can find it real quick. Everything being extra today.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Now, you guys know about the little wager, the little challenge, the little game, right? Here goes my question for you all. Over the last 2 days, how many of you all think that you bought $10,000 worth of gain with the losses that you bought? If you think that you did, give me a thumbs up. If you guys think that you did not, then give me a thumbs down.
Performing S&P 500 stocks of 2024, that could provide some clues, right? We had Vistra, that was AI power, so a little bit of AI adjacent, Palantir, AI software, and then NVIDIA, of course, AI chips. So I do think as those monetization opportunities in AI continue to proliferate, of course, with the backing of an administration that's going to focus more on innovation, deregulation, and tax cuts, I do think that AI, anything in that theme, but of course you want to focus on the leaders within AI.
See, but a lot of commentators, Alyssa, will say, the gains are too narrow. To be more healthy, we need to see a broadening of the market. If that's the case, where else could we see growth other than the big AI tech names?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, if it's an easy money market, right, it's hard to mess it up with your stock picks. But if you do see that narrowness in the breadth, it does require a little bit more skill and luck in stock picking. But I think what helps with that, if you focus on companies that are outperforming the market, right, that increases your odds of success in my view and in my experience. If you're buying something that's already headed in the right direction and outperforming, you usually see a continuation of that strength. Look again at the winners of 2024, but also the strong fundamentals. So you want to see double-digit or even triple-digit growth, and even better to see acceleration in the top and bottom line. So if you're looking for stocks outside of AI, I would start with looking at, okay, what are the stocks that have the standout technicals and fundamentals as well? And that could be in any sector. Sometimes you'll find those hidden gems.
Right. Great advice and great to have you with us. Alyssa Coram. Alyssa,
thanks so much.
Happy New Year to you, and thank you for being with us.
Happy New Year.
Good stuff.
All right, so there's that. I thought that was some pretty good advice, right? Pretty good advice. So now we're going to talk about the technical aspects of the crypto crash. All right. We're going to talk about some of these technical aspects of the crypto crash. Crypto liquidations stay elevated at $483 million as Bitcoin continues to decline to 92.5K. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many people are excited about a 92.5K Bitcoin? I know I am, right? Because anything under 100,000 increases your likelihood of approaching a whole Bitcoin. That's the way that I look at it, right? So I have a different goal. You know what I'm saying? I have a different approach than what a lot of these people who see these losses and, sell. I have a different goal than them. All right. Bitcoin liquidations passed 464 million in the past 24 hours as the price declined to $92,500, resuming the downward trend from yesterday's $700 million liquidation event. Per CoinGlass data, long positions dominated the liquidations, accounting for nearly 70% of the total. So these long positions, the people who own the Bitcoin planned these long positions and acted on their own long positions. You know what I'm saying? I bet you you can match a futures account up with every Bitcoin whale. You know what I'm saying? They bet on their own money. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen says, I think it will reach $100,000 by the inauguration. If you guys think that it'll reach $100,000 by the inauguration, put some rockets in the chat. If you guys don't think that it'll reach 100,000 by the inauguration, let me know when you think that it'll reach 100,000. All right. Per CoinGlass data, long positions dominated the liquidations, accounting for nearly 70% of the total, with 324 million cleared compared to 141 million in short positions. The trend suggests traders remain heavily bullish despite market signals indicating a potential correlation with traditional equity markets. All right. So again, this is one of those situations where the charts and the positions are not matching the sentiment. All right. Binance led exchange activity with 190 million in liquidations, followed by OKX and Bybit, which contributed 144 million and 85 million respectively. A significant 15.30 million single liquidation order on OKX's Bitcoin US dollar tether swap highlighted the severity of the market movement. All right. So that's probably one of those times if you look at your graph and you see that really deep dip, that's probably one of those. How many people looked at their graphs and they see those points where the graph took a very sharp dip down and then it came back up? If you ask me, more than likely those are those buy orders. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Using the features that are available, would it be a bad idea to keep some money in US dollar tether or in US dollar coin and set buy alerts or set automatic buys based on what you have in your US dollar tether or US dollar coin for these floors that we talk about? If you guys think that that wouldn't be a bad idea, give me a thumbs up. If you guys think that it's a horrible idea, then give me a thumbs down. The data reveals a pattern of cascading liquidations, with the 12-hour period showing 156 million in cleared positions before accelerating to the 24-hour total. This acceleration pattern typically indicates a snowball effect, where forced liquidations trigger further price decline, leading to additional positions being liquidated. Market data suggests the recent price action stems from Bitcoin's continued correlation with U.S. equities, which saw a significant downturn earlier this week. Okay. And then there's the other people who are saying that it has to do with the unfavorable interest rates talk, right? And these are also the macroeconomic factors that they're talking about. All right. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen says, I have some pending now. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Thomas Wilson. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah. So we find these floors, set aside money, match the money with the floor on the buy alert, have it already taken care of. So it's automatically doing it for you. You know what I'm saying? We're moving into an automated world. People may as well get used to utilizing automation, right? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. Oh, see, why does it do that? Why does it do that? Bitcoin's short-term holders offload $2.4 billion amid price drop below $95,000. All right. So if you ask me, right? If you ask me, if you're in it for the long game and you're projecting what you'll have December 31st, anything under $100,000, probably not a bad idea, in my opinion. If you're putting in Bitcoin now with the expectation of at the very least it's $100,000 by the end of the year, anything under $100,000 right now, if you ask me, buying probably not a bad idea. If you ask me, buying Bitcoin anytime is not a bad idea, but for sure, if you're expecting 100,000 and you're buying under 100,000, each time you buy under 100,000, the percentage loss is the percentage discount that you're getting that future premium at, if you ask me. That's how I look at it, because I don't have plans on selling. So I'm not dealing with sell side volatility. I'm only dealing with price volatility. And the price volatility that I deal with is that it might be higher one day than it is the next day. Since I don't plan on selling is not a volatility that I'll come in contact with. So why should I consider sell side volatility when I'm buying it for permanent holding? Does that make sense? If that makes sense, give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't make sense, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Young Nine. What's good with it, bro? All right, so now here it says data from CryptoQuant reveals that short-term holders, investors holding Bitcoin for less than 155 days, were key players in this sell-off. Over 26,000 Bitcoin, valued at more than $2.4 billion, were moved to exchanges at a loss. And I mean, to me, this is just ridiculous. But this is what people do. This is what these people do. They try to hit these short-term gains and, buy the short-term losses, and, that makes market movement, right? Meanwhile, further analysis from Alpharetical showed that this wave of selling pressure coincides with a broader decline in accumulation trends among this cohort of investors. According to the firm, the accumulation versus distribution of STH metric shows that STH have a growing preference for liquidating rather than accumulating their Bitcoin holdings, which is wild. You know what I'm saying? Additionally, STH accumulation has steadily declined since December 5th. This weakening demand from these investors aligns with Bitcoin's recent price volatile movements, demonstrating how their actions can significantly influence market trends. Okay, so that's interesting. All right, that is very, very interesting. All right, so how many people heard about this sell-off? Shout out to Win Loser Rug. We talked about this yesterday. Win Loser Rug posted a tweet in the chat that we looked at yesterday. Now we're going to look at a couple articles in regards to this. All right. The Biden administration is going to sell off, allegedly, close to 66,000 Bitcoin. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Who would do it? Shout out to Carlton. Carlton says, not going to lie, if I get $1 million off Bitcoin, I'm going to scrape off 50,000 and pay some bills. Listen, I'm paying off all my debts. The very first thing I'm doing is paying off all my debts and getting all my estate planning together. All my accounting, taxes, all that stuff. I'm getting all of that together. That's literally like the first thing I'm going to do. And then after that, I'm never being responsible ever again because somebody else will be managing my money. So I'm going to just be living life. I would just be living life. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to definitely just be living life. U.S. government can now sell $6.5 billion of Silk Road Bitcoin before Trump enters office. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Can you imagine how much they're going to lose? Can you imagine how much they're going to have to buy back? Can you imagine how much they're going to have to buy back these Bitcoin for? Man, the Democrats make decisions just as smart as the people that vote for them. Right? The Democrats' decision-making is about as good as the decision-making of the people who vote for them. You know what I'm saying? Silk Road Bitcoin cleared for sale. Silk Road, right? Mind you, Charleston White, quote unquote, a community leader, said that you can't buy putty with Bitcoin. I would go as far as to say Bitcoin has graduated from its putty transaction days. So again, just more disinformation that people gravitate to and inflate as credible source information. A consistent pattern that we see across the monolith. You know what I'm saying? Throw them monolith emojis in the chat. The Department of Justice sought expedited permission to sell, citing price volatility as a key reason for avoiding further delays. Now, as far as price volatility goes, they're not in the market of buying or selling Bitcoin, so why should that matter? If they're just holding it as an asset that was recovered from a criminal operation, why are they worried about price volatility? Why are they worried about price volatility? Officials confirmed the assets worth approximately $6.5 billion will be sold despite an upcoming administration change in less than 2 weeks, when a president who has vowed to retain a seized Bitcoin is set to take office. So, I mean, I want you guys to just understand, like, this is ridiculous. Yeah. Shout out to Katsy. Katsy said Biden is vindictive. He has done many things intentionally as of late. He is trying to hurt as many people as possible before he leaves. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Facts. Somebody make it make sense. Shout out to Patrick. What's good with it, bro? Somebody make it make sense. Shout out to Patrick. Patrick says, can't believe black folks listen to white. Here's my question for you. Why? Why can't you believe it? There's so much evidence of it right in front of everybody's face. You got to believe the material reality. You can't deny the material reality. The material reality is that I've been talking about this type of stuff since 2017, and people's ears didn't perk up until somebody like Michael Saylor implemented this type of stuff. That is the reality. That is the twilight zone. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality. And we're gonna talk about how many millionaires Bitcoin has made as well. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker said Brandon's going out like a douchebag. Facts, like a blood clot. DB reported that a years-long ownership dispute involving Battleborn Investments ended when the group lost its bid to delay the liquidation. Battleborn's attorney labeled the DOJ's approach procedural trickery and questioned the constitutionality of civil asset forfeiture, but the court upheld the government's position. The DOJ spokesperson stated that the government will proceed in line with judgment, concluding a protracted legal conflict over one of the largest Bitcoin catches ever seized. And they're just going to, if you sell Bitcoin, you basically giving it away. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why they're doing this, man. I mean, as much as Biden and Trump may have beef, if you ask me, like, this is not good for the country if they're actually interested in the country. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. This recent development carries implications for broader market sentiment. Now, mind you, the United States didn't pay any money for these Bitcoin. So why are they worried about price volatility? There is no volatility. Everything is a 100% gain. You know what I'm saying? They have more money now than they did when they didn't have the Bitcoin, and they paid $0 for the Bitcoin, except for manpower and, you know, whatever it was that went into the cost of seizing the Bitcoin, which I'm sure is far less than what the Bitcoin costs, right? This development carries implications for broader market sentiment, especially since Bitcoin's trading range has hovered around 92,000 to 100,000 in recent weeks after breaking the $100,000 threshold last month. Many participants will now be watching for potential effects on liquidity and volatility if large sell orders emerge. Officials have not disclosed specific plans for the sale mechanism, but the DOJ commented it would proceed. Timing of the judgment amid changing administration. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many of you all think that this was timed specifically to interfere with the Trump administration? If you guys think that it was, give me a thumbs up. If you guys think that it was not, then give me a thumbs down. Yeah, I got to agree. Shout out to Katsy. Katsy says, I think he wants to hurt the country. He wants to hurt the country, and he wants to hurt the Trump administration. He's extremely upset about the fact that he got decandidated, and he's upset with the fact that nobody voted for Kamala. So, you know, and he's also upset, you know, about Hunter, right? So, you know, he's just a spiteful old man for the most part. You know what I'm saying? The timing draws particular attention because the incoming administration had campaigned on the idea of a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Now, mind you, they campaigned on the idea of a strategic Bitcoin reserve, but not too many people talked about it. So again, I keep asking this question: why didn't this come up? Now, shout out to now. Here's why I keep asking this question. Right? Shout out to Carlton. Let me see if I'm gonna find this article that Carlton put into the chat here. Let's see. Where is that article at? Where is that article at? Okay, yeah, this article right here. Now, let's look at this real quick, because this is interesting. Shout out to Carlton, man. Make sure you guys show Carlton some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Carlton for putting this article into the Discord. All right. And of course, my computer is freezing. You know what I'm saying? So give me a minute. If you guys haven't hit the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, hit that like button. All right. Also, if you guys have not hit the bell, please do me a favor. Take a moment, hit that bell. And also, please share the stream to your social media. All right. So just give me a second. Give me a second. There we go. All right. Let me see. Hold on. There we go. There we go. I think this is important. I think this is a very important article. This is a great find. You can thank your neighborhood Carlton. All right. Bitcoin adds 154 new millionaires daily in 2024. If we're facing a racial wealth gap, why are we not looking at this? Why are other content creators discouraging you all to stay away from people who talk about cryptocurrency? The very people who claim that we have an issue with the racial wealth gap. This may not fix the racial wealth gap, but it definitely would help. It is no secret that Bitcoin had a stellar year in 2024, reaching a new all-time high of over $73,000 in the first 6 months, surging past $100,000 psychological level in December. Bitcoin investors reaped significant benefit from the alley, as Finbold Research found that between December 31st of 2003 and December 31st of 2024, an average of 154 addresses holding over $1 million worth of Bitcoin were created daily. I repeat, between December 31st and 2023 and December 31st of 2024, an average of 154 addresses holding over $1 million worth of Bitcoin were created daily. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Who stopped anybody from putting Bitcoin in their wallet? Let me ask you guys this question. How many of these wallets have been burned down? This is pure, hardcore, undeniable evidence that improving the wealth situation is not something that people are dedicated to. And they're okay with it. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said, I told people that millionaires are being made off crypto. But then they say that nobody told them about it, though. So they say they calling you a liar, Carlton. They calling you a liar. You know what I'm saying? They said ain't nobody tell them about it. The total increase in such addresses in the 366 days, 2024 being a leap year, that elapsed amounts to approximately 56,325 per the data Finbold retrieved from its Bit info charts using the Internet Archive's Wayback Machine. Okay. Specifically, their numbers total just under 97,000 on the last day of 2023 and just over 153,000 on the final day of 2024, a 58% increase. In particular, a total of 48,738 addresses holding between 1 million and 10 million were added, along with 7,587 addresses holding over $10 million. Wow. Wow. Let me ask you guys this question. How many people you think missed out on this? And whose fault is it? Whose fault is it going to be? Look at all this. Look at all this wealth. This is literally wealth creation. Look at this. Sheesh. Was 2023 better for Bitcoin investors despite multiple new ATHs in 2024? What is perhaps more surprising is that despite last year featuring a strong digital assets bull market, the total number of Bitcoin millionaire addresses added came in lower in 2023. Indeed, as Finbolt reported on December 25th of 2023, that year saw the addition of nearly 70,000 such addresses, negative 22.85 more than last year. Now, here goes the thing, right? These are only $1 million Bitcoin addresses. This isn't even talking about how much other cryptocurrency that they might have. Shout out to Carlton Wade. Carlton Wade said people will get creative with an excuse to why they didn't buy crypto. Yeah. And they'll lie on all of us. They'll say nobody told them about it. They wish they had somebody that was talking about it. We've heard it all. We've heard it all. Those narratives cannot be allowed to float. Those narratives are nonsense. They're BS. And they cannot be allowed to float. You know what I'm saying? Still considering the fact that Bitcoin rally started already in 2023 and featured a total of 153.21% price increase within 52 weeks, while in 2024 it rose a total of 121.11. The seemingly surprising discrepancy might simply be demonstrative of the initial relatively low prices and immediate investor enthusiasm. Why the bull market led to few new Bitcoin holders. It is noteworthy, however, that the number of addresses holding over 1 million worth of Bitcoin does not directly equate to the number of individual Bitcoin millionaires, as one person can control multiple addresses and several people can co-own a single address. Okay. The wealth of novel means of gaining exposure to the world's premier cryptocurrency might have led to comparatively few newer addresses, along with the long-standing way of vicarious investments through MicroStrategy stock. The Securities and Exchange Commission approved multiple spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds already in January of 2024. Additionally, Donald Trump's re-election in November, an event that alone generated 11,000 new Bitcoin millionaires, also brought hopes of more blockchain-friendly administration, meaning multiple other companies adopted MicroStrategy's approach, at least to an extent. I want to stop right there, and I want to address this. Donald Trump's re-election in November, an event that alone generated 11,000 new Bitcoin millionaires. That's wild. Caw-caw! Some people eating crow. Some people eating crow, Carlton. Caw-caw! Some people eating crow. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Black Free Thinker, man. I appreciate y'all. Throw them targets in the chat, man. We getting there. We getting there. Make sure y'all show Black Free Thinker some love. Definitely appreciate you. Black Free Thinker said, skip the excuses nonsense. Villainy over victimhood all day. And a fat wallet to go in it. Go with it. In progress for a ninja. Bro, facts. Make sure y'all throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat from my man Black Free Thinker for funding that organization, helping us get closer to the target, and buying lunch.
In Springfield, they're
red, so don't push me. Ain't Donald Trump trying to grab him by the... Said it was some Haitians somewhere out in Springfield. Women doing cartwheels.
Have you seen Garfield?
Have you seen Snowball? This about to snowball. I'm about to go off. I can't let this go on. Miss me like an airball. Tell me when my cat is coughing up like a hairball. I gotta tell them if they even put the fingernail on Santa's little helper to turn them to hamburger helper. Somebody better help them, cause I'm going to jail for showing them fellas helter skelter. Usually I'm content, but if you touch my dog, then I'm turning into John Wick. I'm lit. Bird better drop it. If you touch my pet, then I'm pulling up like CrossFit. Where they said Hello Kitty, but it ain't there. It's right here in your city. When I turn my back, now the cat goes missing and where my peoples is at. Does anybody know where he took with that? Cause I heard they putting claws on felines, I'm mad. And my cat disappeared just like Felix the cat. And they got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat.
the cats, eat the cat, eat the cat. They're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, eat the cat.
Fuck that cat.
Facts. Shout out to Black Free Thinker for funding the liquidity, man. Definitely appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said all those Bitcoin millionaires were dancing like those cats when Trump won the election, bro. Facts. They looked at listen. We didn't become millionaires, but we looked at our wallets and said, "Whoa!" Right? How many of y'all looked at your wallet twice when the election got called? You know, I think everybody looked at their wallet twice. Some people might have got scared, like, "Yo, what went on here? Is this right?" You know what I'm saying? At the time, I had my assets spread across Coinbase and Crypto.com, and both wallets were looking wild. And I was like, what happened? What happened? So now, again, right, we always joke about the quote-unquote people eating good under Trump, right? The people, quote-unquote, eating good under Trump. If that's not evidence of that, I don't know what is. Shout out to Patrick. Patrick said, I bet some Bitcoin. That shit dropped. That's because in our chat, you literally bought it on the day when it was like 7% up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was in the chat, like, I just bought some Bitcoin. And we was all like, really, today though? I'm saying, we were like, today for real, bro? Like, today? I mean, that's good. Don't never hold it, right? And the thing is that it don't never drop because you're not supposed to sell it. So if you talk about Bitcoin in terms of dropping, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of assumed that you know what I'm saying, you might not really be into holding on to it that tight. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. Did it drop in relation to your price goal, right? The price goals for the end of the year range from $150,000 to $1 million. Did it drop to where those things are still unlikely? No, it hasn't. As a matter of fact, all of these retracements and all of these corrections have been paired with an exponential bump that's supposed to happen within the next 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to Carlton. It'll go back up. Yeah, it'll go back up. It always has historically, you know, which is one of the reasons why, you know what I'm saying, you probably don't want to buy it on the days when it's high. You know what I'm saying? Like with finance, when the light is red, you go. When the light is green, you slow down or stop. You know what I'm saying? So now here says, finally, the strength of the altcoin and meme coin market during 2024 could also have limited the growth of the number of Bitcoin holders as more traders sought to take advantage of smaller cryptocurrencies with a higher potential for massive and rapid rallies. All right. And like I said, if you ask me, I think that this is what Crypto.com is preparing for. All right. I believe that Crypto.com is preparing for that. And I think that that's one of the reasons why they decided to slow down with the interest that they're paying on the crypto lockup. How many people got a chance to take a look at that? How they had changed the percentages with the crypto lockup, and they decreased the tier 1 amount. They're gonna get you up out of tier 1 real quick. You put in $500, you already done. It used to be 2,000, right? So they got to be anticipating a big rush. But how many people have taken advantage of the Pingu airdrop event? If you took advantage of the Pingu airdrop event, give me a thumbs up. If you did not take advantage of the Pingu airdrop event, give me a thumbs down. The reason why I'm asking is because they're offering 300% points on it right now. I've been in airdrop since they first had it, and they've never had the rewards that high. They've never had the rewards that high. So, you know, you can't beat that. You know what I'm saying? My man DSB with the liquidity fund. My man DSB came through with the big bucket of Gatorade for the liquidity fund, man. That's what's up, man. Shout out to my man DSB, bro. I definitely appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show big love to DSB for funding the organization. And I think actually DSB might have taken care of 50% of the goal. DSB might have taken care of 50% of the goal. Shout out to you, bro. I definitely appreciate it. DSB says, how do you think we fund this organization? We ain't exactly the March of Dimes. Bro, facts.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Don't push me, ain't Donald Trump trying to grab him by the... Said it was some Haitians somewhere out in Springfield. Women doing cartwheels.
Have you seen Garfield?
Have you seen Snowball? This about to snowball. I'm about to go off. I can't let this go on. Miss me like an airball. Tell me when my cat is coughing up like a hairball. I gotta tell them if they even put the fingernail on Santa's little helper to turn them to hamburger helper. Somebody better help them, cause I'm going to jail for showing them fellas helter skelter. Usually I'm content, but if you touch my dog, then I'm turning into John Wick. I'm lit. Bird better drop it. If you take my pet, then I'm pulling up like cross on overseas where they said Hello Kitty. But it ain't there, it's right here in your city. When I turn my back, now the cat goes missing in the where my peoples is at. Does anybody know where he took with that? Cause I heard they putting claws on felines, I'm mad. And my cat disappeared just like Felix the cat. And then the cat got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat. Got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat.
Drop that cat.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Get the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
I'm rich, biatch.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Silence. Silence. I ain't got no money, punk.
Ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form to Mum-Ra, the ever-living.
Woo! Shout out to DSB. DSB got my super chats, got me scared. My super chats got me scared like my crypto wallet had me scared on inauguration night. Shout out to DSB, bro. I appreciate you, bro. I'm telling y'all, listen, I'm telling y'all, by the end of the year, we gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? We are going to be there. I think actually DSB took care of the whole goal. So please make sure y'all show DSB a lot of love, because he single-handedly took care of the goal. Definitely appreciate you, bro. See, I gotta go in on TD. I ain't like TD. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you go super chats or whatever, if it total out to the same thing, you know what I'm saying, is good enough. It's good enough. We not, you know what I'm saying? Like TD's drop say, we're not doing all that. Shout out to you, bro. We giving the whole lineup of the drops again. Plus, man, the financial villainy drops. Let's go.
I am the rocks of the eternal shore. Crash against me and be broken.
Really?
Ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form to Mum-Ra, the ever-living.
bitch up. Turn this bitch up. I will. Turn this bitch up. I will. Turn this bitch up. I'll tear this bitch up.
I'm an old Mac from way back. One of the original players from the Himalaya.
In Springfield.
Don't push me, ain't Donald Trump trying to grab him by the... Said it was some Haitians, somewhere out in Springfield. Women doing cartwheels.
Have you seen Garfield?
Have you seen Snowball? This about to snowball. I'm about to go off. I can't let this go on. Miss me like an airball. Tell me when my cat is coughing up like a hairball. I gotta tell them if they even put the fingernail on Santa's little helper to turn them to hamburger helper. Somebody better help them, cause I'm going to jail for showing them fellas helter skelter. Usually I'm content, but if you touch my dog, then I'm turning into John Wick. I'm lit. Bird better drop it. If you touch my pet, then I'm pulling up like CrossFit. Gone overseas where they said Hello Kitty, but it ain't there, it's right here in your city. When I turn my back, now the cat goes missing and where my peoples is at. Does anybody know where he flipped with that? Cause I heard they putting claws on felines, I'm mad. And my cat disappeared just like Felix the cat. And got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat. Got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat.
Drop that cat.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Get the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
I'm rich, biatch!
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Shout out to DSB, bro. Definitely appreciate it. And shout out to DSB for growing the organization, man. Definitely appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show DSB some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for DSB for standing on business. Definitely appreciate you, bro.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Definitely appreciate you. All right. Make sure y'all show DSB some big love, man. DSB just bought y'all that show. All right. The timing draws particular attention because the incoming administration had campaigned on the idea of a strategic Bitcoin reserve, citing plans to avoid selling any holdings. So now they're going to start out with this strategic Bitcoin reserve that they had wanted to start out with. They're going to now start out behind the ball with it. Shout out to John Guillory. What's good with you, bro? All right. They're going to start out behind the ball with it. The current plan indicates liquidation could begin before the new president takes office. Official policy on sized crypto has shifted multiple times under different leadership, generating debate among lawmakers and market analysts who see these transactions as a test of federal handling of digital assets. So they've already failed then, if you ask me. If the first thing they want to do is sell their Bitcoin as soon as they got it, you failed. Absolutely, DSB. I agree 100%. I agree 100%, bro. As DB posted, the Silk Road seizures have spanned several years, and this final ruling resolves questions around individual X, whose identity Battleborn sought through a Freedom of Information Act request. That request was denied, and the court's liquidation authorization remains intact. Coin sales. The agency's stance appears to be focused on capitalizing on current heightened market conditions, although waiting for the next administration would yield alternative outcomes. Okay. When the first Bitcoin was seized in 2013, 170 Bitcoin was taken into custody at a value of $28.5 million. Today, it would have been worth almost $16 billion had much of it not been previously sold. So again, if you ask me, this right here shows that they failed in handling Bitcoin. They don't know how to handle Bitcoin. If you guys would agree, this This shows that they don't know how to handle Bitcoin. Give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't, give me a thumbs down. Now, do you see that time frame from 2013 to 2025? It is today, right? What is that? 12 years? Why would you sell your, if you're looking at this, why would you sell your Bitcoin? Somebody please explain to me the justification. If you're looking at in 2013, 170,000 Bitcoin was worth 28.5 million. Today it's worth 16 billion. Who would sell that? Why would you sell it? Unless you needed a transplant heart or something like that. Unless you needed I don't know, some expensive surgery or, you know, something. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. Somebody make it make sense. Look, somebody make sense why my computer is freezing again. Somebody make it make sense why my computer is freezing again. Can you guys hear me? If you guys can hear me okay, give me a thumbs up. If you guys can't hear me, give me a thumbs down. My computer had froze for a little bit right there. So now here it says, should we celebrate the government's profiting from seized Bitcoin? They're not really profiting. That's the whole thing. Earlier government sales tied to Silk Road involved transferring large sums of regulated exchanges. The newly approved plan appears consistent with past practice, yet the size of the sum has drawn even more scrutiny. Dumping over 69,000 Bitcoin might pressure markets, though Bitcoin's liquidity has increased over the years and institutional participation has grown. Bitcoin has weathered all previous Silk Road sales. However, this time there is a new president 11 days away from office who vowed to convert the Bitcoin into a strategic reserve. However, some note the irony of Bitcoiners praising the government for turning seized Bitcoin into a Fed asset, given Satoshi's philosophy and Bitcoin's purpose in challenging the traditional financial institutions. And this is what I'm saying about Satoshi's probably paying attention to what's going on, and he's probably turning. I wouldn't say turning in his grave because we don't know if he, you know, we don't know what's going on with Satoshi, but he's probably just looking at this like, this is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I literally recreated the financial system, and because people are idiots, the financial system is literally just mirroring itself, but with Bitcoin as the financial instrument. What this proves to me is that the majority of the population is fully on board with government control. The majority of the population is not qualified for self-custody. Like I said, Bitcoin purifies and evaluates and revalues everything that it comes in contact with. It's reorganizing the wealth and is also reorganizing the people. People who have a value system, people who are disciplined, people who are intelligent, people who are logical. These are the people that will benefit off of Bitcoin. It will pull wealth into these people, and it will take wealth away from the idiots. So make no mistake, Bitcoin is finding the people that it's supposed to find, and it's finding the pricing models that it's supposed to find also. It's valuing humans, and it's valuing assets. If you have Bitcoin, you're a valuable human. Your brain works. You're not an idiot. If you don't have any Bitcoin, you're valued appropriately as well. Okay? So now here it says, however, some note the irony of Bitcoiners praising the government for turning seized Bitcoin into a Fed asset, given Satoshi's philosophy and Bitcoin's purpose in challenging the traditional financial institutions. This is especially thought-provoking, given the focus on freeing Ross Ulbricht and Trump's promise to do so. The official statement says the assets will be sold in a manner consistent with judgment, leaving market participants to watch for any short-term price disruptions or broader policy implications once the sale begins. The fact that the president-elect vowed to keep all confiscated Bitcoin during the campaign highlights the tension between the outgoing administration's actions and the incoming policy preferences. Donald Trump enters the White House in 11 days. Crypto Slate will keep a close eye on Silk Road wallets for any developments before Trump's inauguration. All right. pretty poor sport. You know what I'm saying? Biden is a pretty poor sport. We're gonna talk. We're gonna look at this other article about this tomorrow. Okay, we're gonna look at this other article about this tomorrow. We're gonna get through these last two articles real quick, and I gotta wrap this up. All right. Shout out to everybody. I appreciate y'all. If y'all haven't smashed that like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please do me a favor. Take a moment, hit that bell. All right. Hit the bell. Also, please share the stream to your social media. All right. Fidelity believes Bitcoin is at the precipice of mass adoption. It says investors are not too late. This article was posted on January 8th of 2025. Fidelity believes Bitcoin is at the precipice of mass adoption, says investors are not too late. Let me ask you guys this question. What happens when all the financial professionals start saying they're advising their clients to invest in Bitcoin? BlackRock has put out a memo where they said that a 2% allocation is their recommended allocation for Bitcoin. Do you think that YouTube is going to go on a campaign to remove videos that spread the mis and disinformation that Bitcoin is a scam? I think they should, or at least they should put a community note on it. What do you guys think? Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen said he truly represents his demographic of America. Who is that, Joe Biden? Bitcoin and the wider crypto market may be entering a new era of widespread adoption, but investors are far from being too late, according to Fidelity's Digital Asset 2025 Look Ahead report. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many of you all want to check out this Look Ahead report? This could be, we could look at this Look Ahead report. This could be some call-in material, right? It looks like it's 34 pages. We could read through it, look at the table of contents, have a little bit of fun. You know what I'm saying? Talking about Monty. If that's something that y'all would be interested in, then give me a thumbs up. If it's not something that y'all be interested in, give me a thumbs down. Now, that's something I'm interested in. And I know it's a bunch of y'all in the chat that's interested in it. But that'll be one of them streams where we got like 8 people on the call and like 2 people in the chat. So, it'll be what it is. Right? It'll be what it is. But it'll be good, though. You know what I'm saying? The report, authored by Fidelity's research team and led by Chris Cooper, addresses a lingering question among investors. Am I too late? Why are they asking, are they too late? That to me sounds like investor interest. If that sounds like investor interest, throw some flames in the chat. If it don't sound like investor interest, tell me what does it sound like to you? What's it sound like? The inquiry follows a year marked by accelerated digital asset growth, fueled by approval of exchange-traded products and a post-election surge. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many people have heard the talk of a possible Ripple ETF? If you guys have heard the talk of a Ripple ETF, give me a thumbs up. If you have not, then give me a thumbs down. Now, how many of you all will be investing in a Ripple ETF if they come out with one? Drawing on economist Carlotta Perez's theory of technological revolutions, the report suggests the digital asset market is transitioning from speculative frenzy to broader adoption and integration. What does that mean for people who have invested in this early? That means that you are on the precipice of private island money. Okay? That's what that means. The authors argue that much like the transformative impact of railroad and oil, digital assets are poised to reshape multiple industries, which would have a profound transformative effect on the world. You guys remember, how many times have you guys heard me? This future world, we will see this during our lifetime, and not the lifetime of like grandkids and stuff like that. We will see this during our lifetime of us being young and still having viable health. And then what you're going to see is faster technological booms. It's going to be faster. Shout out to Catsy. Catsy said they're going to be rich. We, us, here, thus, those of us here in the chat, those of us that participate in the Discord, we will be rich. You know what I'm saying? Us. You know what I mean? It added that in 2025 may mark the pivotal point where digital assets cross the chasm into mainstream use. And I would say that that's probably like about 5 years away. Probably might be faster, to be honest. Fidelity's research highlighted nation state and corporate adoption as emerging trends, pointing to growing interest in adding digital assets to balance sheets. In 2024, several companies announced Bitcoin allocations, and nation states began exploring digital asset reserves as hedges against inflation and currency devaluation. The report suggested that this shift reflects the increasing recognition of digital assets as strategic holdings rather than speculative instruments. Additionally, the report noted that discussions about central bank digital currencies and tokenized real-world assets are gaining traction, further cementing the idea that digital assets are becoming integrated into the global financial infrastructure. Fidelity emphasized that the early stages of this transition present opportunities for forward-thinking investors, not backwards-thinking goofies, okay? Not backwards-thinking goofballs. Shout out to Cameron Jones. What's good with it, bro? Long-term outlook. The report acknowledged that while the speculative phase may have passed, the path to long-term adoption and integration remains in its early stages. Let me ask you guys this question. We lived through the speculation and adoption phase of the internet. You guys remember that? AOL, dial-up. That was a very short time frame. I bet you everybody remembers it like it was yesterday. I know I do. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to John Guillory. John Guillory says, bro, they are truly clearing out the crypto market. This is going to be an insane bull run. Facts. While they're clearing out, that's when it's time to scoop up. Right? Scoop up. Right? Fidelity advised investors to focus on the broader implications of blockchain technology and DeFi. Okay? DeFi, guys. Now, again, every time I talk about DeFi, I keep bringing it up. Anytime I say DeFi, I need you guys to list all of the DeFi tokens that you deal with in the chat. DeFi tokens. Let's go. Who are the DeFi tokens? Because if you're not holding any DeFi tokens and you miss out on DeFi, I'm not going to be happy. You know what I'm saying? Not going to be happy. All right? Let me go shut this alarm off real quick. If y'all haven't hit the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, hit that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. And also, please share the stream to your social media. Give me 2 seconds. All right, we back. Sorry about that, y'all. We lost one person. It's all good. We're going to lose more along the way, too, when it comes down to getting this money. Fidelity advised investors to focus on the broader implications of blockchain and DeFi. Who's the DeFi tokens, y'all? Y'all ain't got none for me in the chat. Who the DeFi tokens? Fidelity advised investors to focus on the broader implications of blockchain technology and DeFi, which continue to evolve and expand across sectors. The report also highlighted the importance of understanding the evolving landscape of digital assets, advising investors to focus on long-term developments. This is something that people have an issue with. Long-term development rather than short-term market cycles. So you know right there, already that right there is already going to shake a whole bunch of people off, because you know we deal with a lot of immediate gratification people, right? There you go, y'all. VVS, facts. Jupiter, AVAX, Link, MKR. Yeah, AAV, right? Yeah, Chainlink, facts. XRP will count, right? Ethereum will count too. Cardano will count, right? Yeah. Chainlink is on sale right now. You know what I'm saying? Chainlink is on sale right now. As 2025 approaches, which is already here, Fidelity's outlook suggests that while digital assets are gaining momentum, the journey towards widespread adoption is just beginning. All right. So, yeah, man. I mean, all the information is supporting, for the most part, everything, that we expect, right? All the information so far is supporting everything. Yeah, shout out to Cameron. DAI, yeah. XLM, yeah. Stellar Lumens, facts. Yeah. Yeah, man. Now, again, I talked about this in the beginning. I'm about to just ask again. Who is the newest member to the conversation about a Bitcoin strategic asset reserve? What what entity? All right. Who's talking about it? Let me know in the chat before I put it up on the screen. Who's the newest person, the newest entity to the conversation about a Bitcoin strategic reserve? Who is currently talking about that right now as we speak? Who's talking about it? Somebody let me know. Who is the newest addition to the conversation about a Bitcoin strategic reserve? We talked about it at the beginning of the stream. Carlton said, not Germany, is it? Catsy said, Trump. Shout out to my man, DC Precise. What's good with it? Canada. Bitcoin as a reserve asset. Czech central bank governor opens the discussion. All right, the Czech central bank governor opens the discussion. All right, so all of those ones that you guys guessed, those are ones that we already talked about. This one is the newest one, or at least the one that's, been talked about in the that's been brought up, right? Governments and central banks from the United States to Switzerland are giving Bitcoin serious consideration as an alternative to traditional reserve assets, with the Czech Republic being one of the latest to signal interest. All right. The governor of Czech National Bank, Alice Mikul, has floated Bitcoin as potential diversification strategy for the country's foreign exchange reserves. The latest comments signal growing government interest in cryptocurrency as a savings tool. Okay. The governments are talking about this. Czech Republic joins the Bitcoin conversation. Everybody's having a Bitcoin conversation. Well, not everybody, right? Not everybody. In an interview with CNN Prima News, Mikkel mentioned the possibility of acquiring, quote unquote, a few Bitcoin for diversification purposes. However, he went on to clarify that such an acquisition would not constitute a significant investment for the bank. Any decision to purchase Bitcoin would require approval from the CNB's 7-member board. The narrative surrounding Bitcoin has shifted significantly after Donald Trump won the election in November 2024. Once a skeptic, Trump has voiced support for Bitcoin as a strategic asset and proposed establishing U.S. Bitcoin reserve to boost economic stability. Now, do you guys remember when we were talking about the Kamala Harris versus Trump in the debates and all that, and they was talking about Kamala Harris flip-flopping and all that, and I was like, yo, Trump be flip-flopping too. I was like, he flip-flopped on crypto. Trump is one of the people that said crypto was a scam. You could go and look up the screenshot where he tweeted and said Bitcoin is a scam. Then he changed his position and changed his stance. Nobody even said anything about that. No one even said anything about it. I was like, this didn't even come up at the debate. You know what I'm saying? It didn't even come up at the debate. Advocates of this plan suggest that Bitcoin's finite supply could act as a hedge against inflation and a weakening dollar, with prominent supporters like Senator Cynthia Lummis arguing its potential as a valuable addition to national reserves. While critics in Congress have raised concern, the idea continues to gain traction. Okay. There's a global shift towards Bitcoin. Now, let me ask you guys this question. What does this global shift mean? there's a global shift towards Bitcoin. Bitcoin got the same policy that I got. World domination is the only solution. And shout out to Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? Bitcoin is making way more progress, far more quickly than I am at dominating the world. Good to Bitcoin, right? So now here it says internationally, Switzerland is considering a similar step, with the Swiss National Bank exploring the inclusion of Bitcoin alongside gold in its reserves. A referendum could make Switzerland the first nation to adopt Bitcoin as an official reserve asset, aligning with its tradition of being a hub for financial innovation. In Germany, figures like former Minister Christian Lindner have proposed that Bitcoin could help reduce dependency on the US dollar if adopted by the European Central Bank or the Bundesbank. Similarly, Hong Kong is also engaging in this global trend as legislator Wu Zhihuang advocated for integrating Bitcoin into financial services to ramp up economic resilience in December. This comes months after Legislative Council member Johnny Ning, I think I'm saying that right, stated that Hong Kong should follow the United States lead if the latter decides to implement a Bitcoin strategic reserve. All right, so you guys see this. The United States has a big influence on this. Shout out to my man Aristopat. What's good with it, bro? Shout out to Catsy. Catsy says one step closer to the New World Order. I tend to disagree with that because what I would pose is what's the difference between what's going on right now with the United States dollar versus Bitcoin? And to me, what it would seem like is that we already have a one world currency. The United States dollar is the most widely adopted currency that's used for everything. And actually, there's actually, as they say, because people who say this kind of thing are usually associating it with religion, I would say that so far there's probably been more catastrophic human harm towards other human beings associated with the US dollar than there has been with Bitcoin. I don't know how many people have gone to war over Bitcoin yet. You know what I'm saying? So as far as I'm concerned, for the most part, there's always been a one world currency. First gold, dollars, you know what I'm saying? Whoever's in charge of the largest nation in the world usually dictates the currency. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says Russia too has taken concrete steps to leverage Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Like here, like check this out. How can we not say petroleum is a one world currency? You know what I'm saying? How can we not say petroleum or natural gas or oil is not a one world currency? You know what I'm saying? I don't think that Bitcoin would be used as a quote unquote one world currency. And then here's another thing, right? Bitcoin, what's going on with Bitcoin? This is not how Bitcoin is supposed to be used. This is people, the people who Bitcoin was made for, allowing it to be used like this. Bitcoin is never doing anything but standing there without value. That's all Bitcoin ever does. Value gets associated into Bitcoin according to how people move through the economic environment and how value is based against the standardization system. And Bitcoin holds the algorithm that values the value, which is why it shaves off some of the value. You know what I'm saying? So this is people doing this to themselves. Bitcoin was not created for this right here. Anytime anybody tries to blame Bitcoin and say, look what Bitcoin did to the world. Bitcoin didn't do this to the world. The people that Bitcoin was made to help did this to the world. They did this to the world. They sat back and let all the institutions that already got the money get more Bitcoin. They sat there and sold their Bitcoin. When Da Vinci came out with the video 12 years ago and said, just get $1, they chose to not get $1. Anybody who's broke and is still broke after this financial transition of wealth, you are broke because of your own inaction and because of your voluntary compliance with the system that you claim to hate. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. Bitcoin is not being used like it was made to be used for. Bitcoin was not created to be utilized in ETFs. Bitcoin was not created for Michael Saylor and for BlackRock to have the entire stash. It wasn't created for that. The people that it was created for didn't make it great. Shout out to Cassie. Cassie said it wasn't created for that, but that seems to be where it's going. I'm not blaming Bitcoin. No, I know. Yeah, no. I feel you. I feel you. So what that means is that the people are turning it into this one world currency. They're allowing it to become the one world currency. And then they'll say, well, we have a one world currency. It's supposed to be split up into, a uncountable amount of Satoshi. It's supposed to be made for everyone. It's an open source project. This is more evidence that if people face death and people face destruction, most people will not lift a finger to save themselves. They won't even try. They won't even try. Shout out to Black Freethinker. Black Freethinker said he's off code, but he's right. Hey. You know? We cannot allow these narratives, these false narratives to fester and perpetuate. When children grow up and they live and come from a impoverished, Bitcoin-less, Satoshi-less family, and they look at their parents and they ask them parents why their life is so hard, their parents need to look them square in the eyes and say, because I chose stupid shit over my future. Hina said, hey, is Albania still in Europe like you said it is? Albania? I don't recall saying Albania was in Europe. I thought Albania, isn't that in Africa? Get hooked on phonics. Isn't hooked on phonics for people that can't read? So if I said something and I wasn't reading it, does that constitute as needing hooked on phonics? And shout out to you for saying literally every single thing perfect. I don't know too many people who could do that. I guess you're special. Oh, yeah. Albania is, it says it's in Europe. Well, it seems like regardless of what I said, if you're saying that I said Albania was in Europe, seems like Google agrees. Albania continent, Europe. Albania, officially the Republic of Albania, is a country in Southeast Europe. It's located in the Balkans. I'll tell you what, I'll get hooked on phonics if you get hooked on geography. Deal? So what's this? Is the Google search somehow my fault? Now, the Google search can't be my fault because according to you, I'm too stupid to use a computer. So I clearly didn't program the search engine, right? So explain yourself, please. Who said that I typed in continent to see what continent Albania is on? Isn't Europe the continent Albania is on? Albania, country in Europe. Why are we debating this? Can anybody in the chat explain why we're what I don't know what's going on here? Shout out to Black Freethinker. Black Freethinker said, Kathy Hochul is spamming us. My bad. You're from Cleveland, not the Bronx. What's going on here? Can we proceed? I don't understand what the purpose of this is. Yeah, I gotta agree. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. We don't have time for this. Yeah. I don't. Okay, we got our geography lesson. What are we doing here? Yep. Well, so it looks like the decision was unanimous. Well, let's we don't have, now that, you know what I'm saying, we've gotten the pollutant out. What's the point of that? Is that what constitutes as cool people in the comment section on YouTube or something? Like, is that what people do now? Like, I don't know. What are we supposed to be doing here? You know what I'm saying? We're all just over here causing trouble. we're all just over here causing trouble and disruptive, and something needs to be done about what's going on here. I guarantee there's a lot worse going on streams, other places on YouTube. Shout out to Cameron. Cameron says the point is to disrupt black people. I think that individual is black. There's no discrimination when it comes to people who have an interest in disrupting black people. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that individual was black. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It just goes to show my point. You know what I'm saying? As you move forward on the timeline and you start to observe certain things, it's interesting. The line starts to quote unquote blur. I just put it like that. So anyway, I don't know what Albania had to do with Bitcoin or the Czech Republic adopting or talking about a Bitcoin policy, but I don't know. Let me ask you guys this question. If you all were having a conference, or if you were teaching a class, or if you were talking about something important and somebody just came in and started just saying things that had nothing to do with what was going on, my question for you guys is, what would you all do about it? I think we saw what you guys do about it, right? Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all, man. Hit that like button if y'all haven't hit the like button. Also, please do me a favor, take a moment, share the stream. Shout out to my man AB Promotions. What's good with it, bro? Russia too has taken concrete steps to leverage Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies for international transactions in a bid to bypass Western sanctions and reduce reliance on the dollar. Meanwhile, Anton Tikev, hopefully I'm saying that right, because God knows I'll need to be hooked on phonics. You know what I'm saying? A state Duma deputy from the New People Party officially proposed setting up a Bitcoin strategic reserve in the country. All right. So yeah, man, it's a lot of mass adoption when it comes to this Bitcoin globalization. The only thing that this is going to do is going to do two things. For one, in the short term, it's going to drive up the price. In the long term, it's going to create a situation where large entities have the ability to manipulate the market. So it'll be interesting to check out how the market gets manipulated going forward. All right. Shout out to everybody for watching, man. I appreciate you guys. That's it. Shout out to y'all for hitting that goal, man. Hit those targets in the chat. All right. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. I definitely appreciate you, Brooklyn Queen. Make sure y'all show Brooklyn Queen some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emojis, subduction in the chat for Brooklyn Queen for feeding the liquidity fund. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. I appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show Black Free Thinker some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emojis, subduction in the chat for funding the liquidity fund. Shout out to my man DSB. Man, my man DSB gave us a whole water tower, gave us a damn lake full of liquidity. Shout out to you, bro. And shout out to DSB. Hold on real quick. Shout out to DSB on the crazy again. You know what I'm saying? On the 2X again. Again! On the 2X again. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to DSB for the gifted membership again. Again! Definitely appreciate it. All right. I appreciate you guys, man. You guys are the greatest. We are going to be where we are aiming for by the end of the year. All right? By the end of the year. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,
run for it, run. Yeah, hey, okay, I'm fresh up out the package, sign my deal, I pay my dues, affiliated to this paper, I need freedom for my family line. Draw my life design up like fine art, I'm jumping out just to unfamiliar coordinates, hopped off the porch like I could touch the sky. Red, it's not one trip, the ism, talk the water out your faucet, look at me flossing, I'm so wavy, I could change the tide. My intuition sense the hatred in your ways, you imitated, forging lines, claim meaning means that's just to justify. Yeah, you're right. West side, born maritime. Creole baby, my bloodline. My lungs clouded, my thoughts crowded. Say all I see is these dollar signs. Finna make a play and that sound delay. On mamas, I testify. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Game recognized game. I'm from the Bay, okay, I'm versatile and my slang is different. I'm lane switching with the same people that I came up in this thing with. My head swivel, I'm homebound, got a target back on my backside. The cat peeling with the cast iron, better run for it, run before I catch you. Niggas out ball it, block it, trying to stop my blessing. Gamble with your life, don't bet it, don't bet it. They can't stop my blessing. You do best not to test it. Yeah, you right. Real Lord in my blessed supply. To get ball up top, finna make a play. I cast a lob like I'm Jalen, baby. No co-signer, no co-pilot. They pen pals, my flow designer. My brain signal out of range with it. My palm mission is a dollar sign. If I say it twice, then I meant it right.
My brain signal out of range with it. My palm mission is a dollar sign. You know, co-signer, no co-pilot. They pip-tiles, my flow designer. My brain signal out of range with it. My palm mission is a dollar sign.
Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds.